Hi everyone.
Hello.
We missed you last week, but we are back with a great team up with Troxel Helmets to go over the new Fallon Taylor line, as well as give away a signed Fallon Taylor helmet. We are also going to work with Lisa and Tish on getting the proper fit for your helmet. So some things you may not know about the Fallon Taylor helmets is that she's been competing in world championships since she was 13. And she was quickly recognized for her skills and her flair as she was competing. But back in 2009, she suffered an accident which caused a 4-point skull fracture, and she also broke numerous facial bones, and it was all happening while she was training one of her horses. And she did completely recover from the accident, but she had to be in a halo for a year. And she was thinking, you know, if I had been wearing a helmet, I might not have had to do this. So since then, her and Troxel have teamed up to design helmets to help kind of break into the competing world at the National Rodeo Finals. And in 2014, she actually won the championship with a helmet on. So we're going to talk about the new line a little bit and some of the great features, which it has the dial fit system on the back, which you can see here, and that can adjust to fit on your head. It also has mesh covered vents, which you can see here. They are also low profile, so they don't look bulky on your head, which as helmet wearers, we are definitely concerned with having a bug-shaped head. Yes, exactly. And it also has a removable headliner, which is great because you can wash it and keep it clean. Because you know, as you're riding, we definitely sweat quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and let Lisa take over, and she's going to give you some statistics and show us how to fit a helmet.
Here's Lisa. There we go.
Well, as Jess just mentioned, Fallon Taylor's one of the leading proponents of helmets, especially for Western and trail riders. It's been a little more part of the normal wearing for horse shows in the English markets, but she's done a great job of bringing a more resistant equestrian into the helmet fold. Unfortunately, about 45% of emergency room cases for athletic head injuries are equestrians. And also, that makes us the #1 head injury sport. Horses are great, but horses are dangerous. If you wear a helmet, your chance of having a traumatic brain injury is reduced by about half. But sadly, only about 25% of riders wear helmets on a regular basis. So it's really important, and Fallon's done a great job of promoting this to a new part of the industry. When you are looking for a helmet, Troxel does a great job of fitting a lot of different shapes. So let me go over how, if you are doing this yourself, you should measure for correct fit of helmet. You want the helmet to fit no more than 2 fingers, or a finger and a half if you've got big fingers, above the eyebrow. And when you measure, if you take a flexible tape, ideally one with inches and centimeters, because depending upon the manufacturer, they may measure by size, they measure by inches, they measure by centimeters. So this kind of a tape makes it very easy. So put the tape around the widest part of the head. So there's a little bump in the back here. It should be straight across to about 1 inch above the eyebrow. And read the measurement here, which in this case is 22.5 or 57 centimeters. Rule of thumb, only a rule of thumb, is most helmets in a medium would be 22 inches and a size 7 or 57 centimeters. Those 4 things. A medium, a size 7, 22 inches, or 56 centimeters. So since Tish here is 22.5, she's politely going to fit into a medium for us. One of the nice things about the Troxel helmet, Jess mentioned the removable liner. One of the first things you have to do with a helmet is figure out what shaped skull you have. It can be round, it can be long oval. Sometimes the height from the top of your ear to the top of your skull is a long distance or a short distance. So those are all things to consider when you're fitting your helmet. When you have a helmet with a dial system like the Troxel, it's important to dial it out, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, when you're putting the helmet on in the first place. So when you put it on, it's okay, I can reach up. Okay. It should go just above the eyebrow and then down. If you have long hair, That's the only exception because you've got to get your hair up into the helmet, then you bring it up to the back of the head, but then start with it, the front and down. Then, turn this way for me, you dial the dial system in, righty-tighty, until the helmet feels like it gives you a nice solid hug all the way around your head. So it shouldn't be loose and it shouldn't have tight spots. If you have tight spots here, the helmet is too long oval. If you have tight spots here, your head might be a little too round. Tight spot here. So get it to a nice hug, and when she goes, ow, then back it off one. Okay? Then,
Perfect fit.
once you have this, so with this hair, depending upon how you want to ride every day, if you ride with your hair up every day, size the helmet that way. If you wear your hair down, make sure that the helmet fits both with the hair down or on top. Once we have here, you can see that this helmet fits just above Tish's ear. When it's on properly, it's horizontal, not on the back of her head like a bike helmet, which is a problem that you see a lot. So it should be here and down, then tightened, and then back off one if you need to. Then this has a two-way adjustment harness, so we can adjust it forward on the ear, on both sides, and adjust the length. One of the other nice things about a Troxel helmet is, I mentioned, head shape. If your head is a long oval, this has a built-in adjustment that folds underneath, which makes the helmet a little more long oval in its fit. So not only do you have the dial system, but you can also change the shape. And as just mentioned, this is removable so it can be washed. On ASTM SEI safety helmets for riding, all of the brims are supposed to be breakaway. So you never want to carry your helmet around by the brim because it can break. Helmet manufacturers have several universal recommendations for care of helmets. One, they shouldn't be in extremes of temperature, so don't store it on the back edge of your car or keep it in your trunk in the winter. Try not to carry them around by the harnesses because you'll adjust the harness. Once you adjust your harness, it should stay pretty much the same. They shouldn't have extremes in cleaning. Every once in a while you hear about somebody wanting to put one in a dishwasher. I've never seen a manufacturer that thought that was a good idea. And helmets have a lifespan, once they come out of the box and start into service, of 4 to 5 years. So 4 to 5 years, if you've had no injuries and it's never had impact, you should still think about replacing it. If it does have an impact, if you do have a fall that you hit your head, the helmet should be replaced. These are all single impact helmets. If you cut this in half, as I did with this helmet, you kind of see how it's made. This polystyrene liner is the thing that actually offers the protection. So your brain is in your skull. If you fall and your brain crashes around inside your skull, this takes up the impact. So when you're borrowing a helmet from someone, make sure that you borrow one that fits. Like all pieces of safety equipment involving helmets, you've got a little bit of adjustment, especially with this kind of a dial system, so that you've got a little bit of room to grow into it, or if your hair changes. But it is important that the helmet be properly fitted. If you're doing this on your own, have your instructor or a friend that's knowledgeable or the local tack shop check to make sure that your fit is proper on your helmet.
Perfect.
Okay?
Great. Any questions out there?
So we've got some specials on these, don't we?
Okay.
Yes, we do.
All right.
So this is the new line for the Fallon Taylor, and you can pre-order them starting tomorrow, and they will be in stock within the next week and a half. And we also have last season's styles that will be coming with a $20 gift card, and that's a great deal because who wouldn't want a $20 gift card?
Right,
It's a big
definitely.
D's.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, we still have, I don't even know how many different styles of helmets that you can choose from. And if you ever are in the market for a new one and you're not sure what to get or how to size it, just come in, hang out with us, and we can get you measured. And if Lisa's here, she can help you pick out the perfect helmet. But I really like this Troxel line. I really like what Fallon Taylor's doing for the awareness of rider safety, for helmet safety, and just, you know, understanding with horses, traumatic brain injuries are it is the leading cause of death with equestrian sports. So
Don't they make like a juvenile one for kids?
They do. We
That
have
was
them
the
all the way.
question.
We have stocked them all the way down to toddler size.
Better safe than sorry.
Yep, yes, absolutely, especially with a growing head. You know, unfortunately, accidents happen. If they weren't accidental, they'd call them plans.
Right.
So,
Good. That was one of our questions. Will these fit a youth? So yes,
Yeah.
John, it will.
yes,
Yep.
yes,
It
we
will.
do. Now, I will say, Troxel makes one down to a toddler size, not in the Fallon Taylor line, but we do have.
But still, we have
got
options for the
options.
juvenile line.
Yep.
I think they come in
Yes, the-
purple and blue or something.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
perfect for the little kid that can go out there, even if you're really just going to go and ride on a horse because it's a friend's or something. I
Right.
think it's
Always wear a
best-
helmet.
Yeah.
Always, every time, every ride.
If you're familiar with Courtney King Dye, you could follow her story and understand why it's important to wear a helmet. And just as recently as Philip Dutton's daughter was in a horse accident, and they made a point to say that she was wearing a helmet. And we unfortunately don't have any updates on that, but any type of horse accident can wreak havoc on you. So it is really, really important to wear a helmet. Another Troxel helmet that's a new style for them, or I should say new colors, they're Intrepid, which I wish you could see this in person because I actually
It's a
love this
mulberry,
color.
they call it.
pretty,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a beautiful, beautiful color. And it has basically the same as what you could get on the Fallon Taylor, except it doesn't have the dial up here, but it can adjust. You can still adjust the harness on the inside, so there's adjustability to it as well.
I think it's Lita, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, says, are bike helmets okay to use?
That's an excellent question. While a bike helmet has a safety standard, and it is a safety helmet, it is a standard that is specific for bike riding injuries. Equestrian helmets have a safety standard that is specific for horseback riding injuries. So you have the possibility of trajectory, you have impact, and you have, because it's on a horse, speed. With bike riding, the safety standard is typical for a
Certain
bicycle riding.
a certain
Yeah.
speed.
And like the
Certain
height that you're
speed.
falling from
Yeah.
versus the height of falling from a
So,
horse.
unfortunately, no, it is not a good idea to use a safety helmet for another sport. You know, you wouldn't wear your riding helmet snowboarding,
Yeah.
and you probably wouldn't want to wear your snowboarding
harness
helmet.
racing.
Yes.
Harness racing.
Now, in racing, that's a new standard now for both standardbreds and thoroughbreds now. More people requiring helmets to try
Yep.
and minimize risk of injury. Yes.
You know, there are a lot of tracks that allow you to jog without a helmet, but most of them are going over where they even actually like you to wear a safety vest. But the Grattan helmet is one that is designed for that. So, you know, that's the difference between going to the store, maybe getting a bicycle helmet where you think it may look the same, but it really truly isn't designed for that.
Right, the composition is different.
Because of how your fall is. Even if you're, you know, just at your friend's horse and something could happen, and something could scare that horse for some unknown reason, you know, you'd just rather be safe than sorry when they're leading you around or letting you ride a little bit through the arenas.
And that's the great thing about these helmets. If you have horses and you have friends over to ride, you can, with 3 helmets, fit everybody from a 6.5 to a 7 5/8. So for a small investment of having 3 safety helmets, your insurance company will make you happy, and you will feel better knowing that you're providing a safe environment for somebody that's riding your horse.
John would like to know, do all these come small youth? Maybe you could go grab one to show him. John, these Fallon Taylors don't.
The Fallon Taylor's has a the small size goes down to 6.5, which is pretty small. When you go down below that, you're generally into the 4 to 9-year-olds, and then they also have a helmet that goes down into toddlers, or a double extra small. So, you know, your head as a child is, you know, most people do not have that much of a change in their shape. So I fit a lot of children starting riding in this 7 to 8, and they're in a small. So we brought in a couple of our youth and toddler helmets. This particular one is an Ovation. We do also have a Troxel. This goes down to a 6 1/4, which is basically a toddler size. It's very lightweight. They are, you know, every once in a while you hear somebody say, well, they don't want to put that much weight on a toddler's head. The safety factor of this far outweighs the weight, but this weighs ounces. And This is probably our most
think our
popular.
number one seller.
our
I
most
had to grab that one.
most
It's my
popular
favorite.
for little girls, because I think we probably have a lot of children who wear this out of the store and want to wear it to the grocery store
Yeah,
and want to
all
wear it
over.
everywhere
I was
else.
that kid.
So yeah, so that's a great one. And again, you have the same system here, the dial system. The liner is removable. Again, single impact. Don't carry it around by the harness because you'll have to mess around adjusting it again. And don't carry it by the removable brim. With this kind of a helmet, the surface on this one is a little more fragile. It doesn't have any impact on the helmet, but if you walk around with it and you're short and you scrape along the wall, you can damage the outer plastic of this. These helmets are a little more rugged and are built on the outside to have as much toughness as Fallon.
Do you have any more questions?
We have another question. How are they going to enter?
Oh, well, funny you should ask. This is going to be a like, comment, and share. So we will randomly pick a winner from any of the people that comment, like, and share. You have to do all three or you're out. Wah, wah.
And when will you draw the name?
We're going to draw it next Wednesday because we are going to be back next Wednesday with Lisa.
Again.
Yes.
We are
So
just
much fun.
So lucky.
We are going to do a custom boot fitting because we will be having some interesting information on some custom boots and a special that we have going on with that. So
Is
I
that
will.
next Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah. And that goes right with our special that runs from February 1st to 10th?
Yes, exactly.
Which
So
is, or are we not going to tell them?
I mean, we can tell them.
You think you want to tell them?
I don't know.
Go ahead. You tell
Okay.
them.
Okay.
You tell them.
It's 10% off the base price for Daners, De Niro's, Cavallos, Koenigs, and Vogel. So come in, you can call the store, make a fitting appointment. February 1st to the 10th. It's the one time a year that we do a special on custom boots.
And it takes a while to get those in, so the sooner the better, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's always
Show season's always coming, that's true.
Yes.
We've got one more question. Is the purple a dial fit?
Yes.
This purple?
Yes.
Yes, it is. This is also a dial fit.
Okay.
All of these helmets are very well ventilated. They're not like the first generation of safety helmets that were a little bulky, had a slight moon look about them, and they were hot. All of these helmets now are lightweight, much more streamlined, much smaller outer frame of the
Like low
helmet.
profile.
So, yeah.
I have a question.
Yep.
Do you, since I don't wear these, I'm in the barn cleaning the stalls. But anyways, if when you're in the barn or you get that smell or whatever, is there anything that you can spray on the inside to help them? Like, is there anything in particular, or because I saw the bottle sitting there, so I didn't know if that was
Well,
something
this is
important.
my favorite.
Okay.
This is Fresh Rider, so we've got like 3 different scents on this, but this one's my favorite, vanilla and lavender. The important thing is if you keep your helmet in a helmet case or in the box, let it dry out. If it's got a removable liner, take that out, rinse it out every once in a while, don't throw it in the washing machine, hand dry, or hand wash, line dry. But between uses, you can do this. If you don't want to do this, or you have that, smelly head problem, I do have a couple friends that will use a little Lysol. Mountain Fresh is better.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. That was my question.
Yep.
Sometimes if you're going to have them at the barn, you may want to spray something in there in between for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, and we mentioned manufacturers really don't recommend putting your helmet in the dishwasher. But with the removable liners, if it doesn't have a removable liner or on the inside of the harness, take a clean damp cloth and just wash it out. Same thing with the surface of these. Don't use a harsh cleanser on it. It really just takes a clean sponge, water, a little bit of elbow grease maybe, but that's all it takes to keep these helmets looking this nice.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
So just to recap, if you want to pre-order these, you can starting tomorrow. They'll be in about a week and a half. And last season's have the $20 gift card.
These are all still current colors.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
They're not
just
going
the
away.
new colors.
Yep.
They always bring something new out for the next year.
Yeah.
And
Make your
then,
decision more difficult.
and then we also have our new flyer out. So if you're not on our mailing list, make sure you get on it because we have amazing savings in here and you won't want to miss out. And this flyer is valid until February 28th. We also have 33% off on Stable Blankets by Country Pride,
Oh, good, I needed
which,
that
I mean, yes, exactly. So they'll probably go quick.
They
so.
say we're going to get some winter weather here.
Yes.
Yeah,
At least in
it's
our
getting
neck of the
colder.
woods. Yeah.
We've been lucky. January's been pretty mild, things considered. So,
Yep, so.
Okay, we're good.
all right, bye guys.
Thank
See
you.
you next
See you
week.
next week.